So welcome back to the Greg McAfee Show, where we're going to watch part 2 of The Path to Prosperity. We hope you enjoyed part 1, and it will help take you to the next level, whatever that level might be. And don't forget to like and subscribe below. Have a great day. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. All right, so the path to prosperity. Along the path, we must be the best we can be. We must be in shape. I gave you 8 reasons how to get in better shape and to make more money. And then from that, we've got avoid comparing to others. If you want to be on the path to prosperity, quit comparing yourself to others. It does nothing for you. Depending on your territory, your climate, your population, you can't be like others. It's impossible for you to be like others because nobody is like you. Very few places have your climate. Very few communities have your culture. And it's different for everyone. I've learned in just recently, I'm not the smartest guy at the table, nor do I pretend to be. But I know what I know, and I know what we do well. I've learned lately, let's say in the last year, it just never came to my mind. But here's what I've learned. Be a valuable lesson for you to learn today. I've learned that if you're in a population of, let's say, you're in a population of 500,000, okay? You're only going to do so much. And most heating and air conditioning companies, by the way, only own about 5 to 7% of their market. And I'm talking about large companies. I'm talking about companies that are doing, for me, large, 50 to 100 million. They only own between 5 and 7%. If you get up around 10, it's unreal, okay? There's a lot of companies out there, and you owning 5 to 7, you're probably a big dog in that dog park. You're probably a big dog, okay? So you can't be like everybody else, and you need to focus on your unique value proposition. What do you do best? What do you do better than anyone else? And you say, I'm just a heating and air company. I don't do things better than everyone else. Everybody else can do what I do. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. You're lacking confidence, which I do believe we talked about here, that confidence comes from within. And you need to know your unique value proposition. You need to know what you do best, and you need to know what you do best. Typically, what you do best at, you make the most money. And then we celebrate other successes without comparison. It's really hard in our trade because it's hard enough to get another company in your trade. If you're a landscaper, it's hard to get another company landscaper to wave at you at a stoplight. It just doesn't happen. They'd rather flip you off. So there's no camaraderie or anything being in the same trade anymore. It used to be they'd wave. When I first got into the industry, we waved. We were in an association together in the same town. So competitors sat around a table and we wanted the best for our industry. That's what we did. You don't see much of that anymore. So what we should celebrate other successes. When I had a true competitor years ago, built a brand new building. It was back in the newspaper days. It was in the newspaper, a big article, a big picture. I took it, had it framed, found out what colors they had in their office, had it framed in the color code, and hand delivered it to them and said, congratulations. See, that's pretty cool stuff. And they thought it was too. That's celebrating other successes without comparison. That's taking the high road. You better believe I still competed with them when I got out there in the field. But congratulations. They built a 25,000 square foot building, and I was congratulating them. And then also set internal metrics for success, not external. Now, internal is your team. It's internal. Set the metrics, measure your team, okay? External is your customer base. Of course, you want to measure those, but I want you to focus on your team. External, suppliers. You got to take care of your suppliers. They take care of you. But I want you to focus on your team, your internal metrics for success. That's where your success comes from. You show me a company with a strong team, I'll show you a successful company. You show me a company where people don't hire right in that company, I'll show you a mediocre to a poor company. All right, and then you got to emphasize progress. We don't shoot for perfection, but I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. But we emphasize progress. We're constantly telling our team, we've broke records 9 months. Man, it could have been actually 10 now that I think about it. But it's in their face. We use Service Titan. They're on it all the time. I'm on it. Our leadership team's on it every minute of the day almost. We're measuring from yesterday. We're beating yesterday. So we emphasize progress and we stay informed, but we don't obsess over industry news. I glance at it, I read about it. If it's interesting to see where the industry's going, then yeah, we're going to know more about it. But just industry news, it's not on my page of focus. It's we stay informed, basically. Just stay informed. Most people are not informed. And then we develop a growth mindset. We definitely learn from failures, but we develop a growth mindset. We're looking forward. We know what we did that didn't work, and we're going to learn from it, but we're looking forward. We're growing. Growing is for today and tomorrow, not yesterday. Growing is tomorrow. Where do you want to be tomorrow? What do you want it to look like? How much do you want to do in gross revenue? How much do you want to do in net profit? I mean, net profit is the key. Tommy Mello was on our show, and he reminded us that gross sales is vanity and net profit is sanity. And that's how it works. I can tell you gross sales all day, but if I'm only making single digits, who gives a crap? I mean, seriously. But I can take someone who does a lot less and they're up in the 20th percentile. They're actually making more profit than that, quote, larger gross sale company. Think about that. Would you rather get to keep more or just like make more? What would you rather do? I'd rather keep more. All right. So, develop a growth mindset. And then I want to talk a little bit about mindset shifts. Some of our mindsets need to shift. We need to shift our thinking. Shift our thinking, more positive thinking. Confidence comes within. Think positive. A business owner must want to win. Like I said, it's something inside of me that said, you don't need to take a vacation right now. You'll have plenty of time later to take vacations when you get this thing off the ground and actually making money. You'll have plenty of time for that. It wasn't all about just having a business and look what I do and look what I've done and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I was about. I knew if I kept doing what I'm doing and learning more, my business would continue to grow and I'd actually start making some money, and then I could focus on taking a vacation. Because, of course, once my kids got a little bit older, wasn't fair to them to not go on vacation, and we went on plenty of vacations. But at that time, my business was then finally making money, because most companies don't make much money the first 5 years. They may act like they do, and they may go out and finance a boat or finance, hopefully not a Lambo, but finance too much and look on the outside that they're doing extremely well, but they're not doing that well. So I want to win. I want to beat all competitors. I want to put them under so bad. That's how I think. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely stop and wave at them, and I'll definitely give my respect to them. But the bottom line, I want to win. I've got a lot of people on this team that need to eat and put food on their table. So I want to win. And if you don't, maybe you shouldn't be a leader. Maybe you shouldn't be the owner. Go work for someone else. I mean, can you imagine the coach of a Super Bowl team not pushing hard to win? They're all about winning. That's what got them to the Super Bowl. If you got into business, you better be a winner. And then you've got what we talked about earlier was from perfectionism to progress. No one's perfect. We're human. We can't do things perfectly. Only Jesus was perfect, without sin. So no one's perfect, but we can strive for perfection. Because Vince Lombardi said, we can't hit perfection, but as we try, we'll hit excellence along the way. And it's something similar. I'll put the quote up here just so you can see it, but it's pretty similar. No one's perfect. And then number 3, from comparison to self-awareness. Quit comparing yourself to other people. You have no idea what goes on in that other company. It could be extremely stressful every day. Yours is probably running more efficiently. Just get your eyes off how many trucks they have right now. Your time will come. If you do your job, take care of people, and want to win, your time will come for that many trucks. Just hang in there and keep doing it right. And then you got from scarcity to abundance mentality. There's too many guys that I coach that have that scarcity mindset. You got to think positive. In order to be a winner, you must think like one, you must act like one. And I wrote this down that I learned from someone years ago. Just act like it's impossible to fail. Just act that way. Just act like you have an abundance mentality. Even when I was losing money and busting my butt to stay afloat, and my phone didn't ring for 2 weeks, the second year in business, not the first year in business, the second year in business, my phone did not ring for 2 weeks. I didn't have work, and I didn't have a phone call, and I picked it up often to make sure it had a dial tone, but I acted like it was impossible to fail. When everybody else was saying, when's he going to get a real job? When's he going to quit this stuff? He has no business experience. I acted like it was impossible to fail. And evidently it worked out pretty good for me. All right? So in order to be a winner, you must act like one, think like one. And then focus on what you have, not what you don't have. Boy, that's a $1 million concept right there for everybody in America. Focus on what you have and not what you don't have. And practice gratitude. Practice gratitude for what you have. Many don't have what you have. So practice gratitude for what you already have and where you came from and how far you've come. Be thankful. We're blessed. We're blessed. We take things for granted, but we're blessed. Whether you have a little or a lot, we're blessed in America. Just start acting like it and you'll become it. Give yourself positive affirmations often. I can do this. I will do this. I'm better than this. Positive. I will find someone to hire. I will buy a new truck one day. I will be better than this. I will quit working out of my garage. Positive affirmations. They work. So before we wrap up, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe below. You can also support this podcast by rating and reviewing on iTunes or your preferred listening platform. Keep listening. I'll do my best to keep challenging you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Greg McAfee Show. No spaces, no underscores. Be sure to tune in next week. We've got some good stuff coming up. Thanks for listening. And as always, carry on. God bless. Make this day the best day of your life because we're not promised tomorrow.